play for the youth choir. I'll play drums the other 3 Sundays out of the month, but let me get the youth choir. I'll do that week for free. I won't even charge you for that week. You pay me for playing drums the other weeks. I'll play keys for the youth choir free. The church said, nah. I was going to do it for free. 2 weeks later, some of y'all, I call Ron Jackson because that's my good friend. Ron Jackson got me my first organ job at a church. I won't say the name of that church either. But literally, the church that was going to pay me to play organ paid me double what I was making playing for drums on a weekly basis. So do you think I wanted to play for the other church, or do you think I wanted to stay at my home church where all my family was, where I already knew everybody? This church was like Cheers. I know everybody. Wherever you walk in, they go, hey, Norm, everybody know everybody. But now I got to walk into a whole new situation because the church didn't want me to play keys.
So you literally just walked into a question. So it's a little early, but let's go and get into it. What's the real reason musicians leave church? What I keep hearing is not lining up with most musicians I talk to. Because what we always hear is they chasing the bag. Newsflash, the church ain't never provided us with a bag. Let's establish.
Come on, somebody.
That.
Can we touch on that? Let's elaborate on that.
They never pay us what we're worth.
Ever.
It has never happened. And Lord forbid you got a wife and kids. So let's make this make sense. We have rehearsal, depending on how many choirs they got. You got rehearsal 1 or 2 days a week. You got Sunday service. Let's see, you got Bible study, depending on what church you at.
Don't forget revivals.
I see, I ain't got to revival, because they're normally a good 5 days. Okay? And see, that's just the stuff you see. Nobody sees this musician at home telling everybody to be quiet because they're trying to practice all this music that they just got at the last minute. So if you're doing all of this, and you got
service.
and evening service, see, your wife, see, you know. Come on. So you got all of this going on, right? If I'm doing all this for the church, when am I seeing my kids? When am I talking to my wife? Oh, and church musician, what vacation?
We got to be back on Sunday.
You got to be back on Sunday. What type of vacation is that?
Yeah, we got to be back on Sunday.
You normally can't leave a Friday because you got a 9 to 5 because the church ain't paying you nothing. So you got to leave Friday afternoon. Try to have fun on Saturday, but not too much because you got to be back on Sunday night.
Be back on the road.
So the question is, what's the real reason church musicians quit?
Underappreciated. I can answer that one for you.
I take that one.
Go for it.
Come on.
And I'm not even going to bring musicians into this. Most people leave their job not because of the job, but because of the management. So it ain't even, just think about it. Whatever job you've had, you didn't leave the job because of the money, because you agreed to the money when you went to the meeting and they told you how much you was going to make. You agreed to the money. You was okay with the vacation package or not. You agreed to all of that. That ain't why I left. Because I knew all of this when I took the gig. We'll get to that word later.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. When I took the job, I knew all of this. And now, I'm not quitting because of what I knew. I'm quitting because of what I didn't know. I didn't know that Pastor was going to micromanage me.
Come on.
I didn't know that Pastor didn't want to pay me when he got to go preach extra. Bro, that's extra gas.
Extra time.
That's extra time. That means I got to actually play more. That's more time away from my wife, my kids. That's more time out of my life that I can't never get back.
Right.
Time is the one dwindling thing that we have in this world. When I spend my time, it's got to be worth something when I spend my time. Because we spend our money on trash. Everybody in here has been to McDonald's at least once and they messed up your order and you still went back at some point. So we'll spend money on stupid stuff and be cool with that. But when I spend my time, I don't get that back. Never. That never comes back to me. So what I quit the job for was the stuff I did not know. The way the pastor was going to treat me. Now I got to deal with his wife, who's a butt munch. See, I didn't say what I was thinking. She's a butt munch, and because she's the pastor's wife, some musicians won't say what they need to say. Now, that ain't my testimony. I will say what I want.
Don't forget to have my church member. They try to micromanage you too.
Or the church members that's also the relatives of the pastor.
Right, come on.
Yeah.
And now I can't tell her or him that I don't care what your last name is. You an alto, you a tenor, you a soprano in this choir. I don't care that you related to this dude. That means something when y'all at family dinner. In this choir rehearsal, it means nothing. You are an alto, soprano, tenor. Get in your section, shut your face. Get ready to learn this combination.
You did good, though. Shut your face.
Y'all know what I was thinking. I'm trying to avoid saying it.
So wait.
Great. Right.
Dr. Davis. I'm going to tell you why I'm bringing up Minister Davis. One, because he's Minister Davis, but two, he got a different spin on this because he's also a sound man.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to pose to you. Why do musicians really quit the church?
I think, well, from a sound man perspective, we the first one there. We the last one to leave. We have to be at everything. Even when they don't have the musicians there, you have to be there for meetings and everything. And then you got people, especially at some of these churches, where the deacons are supposed to be over certain ministries, and they don't even know how to turn on the soundboard, but yet they want to tell you what to do.
Come on.
They want to tell you what to do.
Preach, George.
They can't even cut the soundboard on.
My God.
No lies told.
We got unmusical people making musical decisions in church.
Come on. Come on.
He don't know nothing. Don't know chord. He don't know where the extension cord is that the X32 is plugged into.
One of my favorite one. This is my favorite one. It's my biggest pet peeve. When I heard a pastor or a minister get up and say, "This is God's house. We do things in excellence,"
Yeah.
and the musicians sitting there like, "Excellence? Y'all don't even know how to run the stuff y'all just bought. Y'all didn't even ask us before you did it." Imagine as a musician sitting in a church, they're having a meeting, their annual meeting, and one of the ministers say across the pulpit reading the budget, "Yeah, the musicians' budget this year was $80,000." And all the musicians looking at each other like, who got that?
Right.
And then they start naming a bunch of stuff, and you be like, what they got to do with us? We didn't tell you to go get a whole new lighting system, and you didn't know how to use the last one.
Right.
We didn't tell you to go get a brand new digital mixer, and you didn't even know how to use the analog one. Oh yeah, and you don't even listen to us, and we the one that know how to use it. So how is that part of our budget? We didn't. Or you gonna went and got a whole LED screen, and the only thing on it is the announcements in your face.
Come on, somebody.
As a sound man, it's really hard for me because I go to these churches and try to help them, and faithfulness over ability is what they use. Oh, he a faithful member. Yeah, but he don't know nothing about sound.
Right.
He been here for a long time. He grew up in the church. So what? He don't know nothing about sound. He's not willing to learn. I'm a teacher, and they will not hire me if I didn't have the qualifications. They don't care about me being faithful. If you don't have the qualifications, you ain't gonna get hired. But church is the only place that will hire people without qualifications because they're faithful.
Yeah.
Okay, so to that, I agree. Church likes volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody I ain't gotta pay is perfect for the job.
Yeah.
So I don't care if he grew up in the church and he been listening to bombs for his whole life, and now he can't hear nothing above 10K. If you ain't a sound man,
Come on.
George get what I'm saying. Chris get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you can't hear above 10K, we don't care. He free. See, y'all missing the point. I don't have to pay them, but I know he gonna show up every week. And just like McDonald's, he's gonna mess it up every week. But I ain't gotta pay him. So this is the freest mess up I can get. But I still keep hearing sound, even though the mic squeal every now and again. But he can't hear above 10K, so he can't hear that either. That's why the mic keeps squealing.
But we work in excellence.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
wait, hold on. I gotta have this discussed from a pastor's perspective, because it's different for y'all. It's totally different for y'all, and I understand it. So, what is the real reason musicians quit from your perspective?
Did you notice I wasn't saying nothing?
I know you did. I know.
The reason why I wasn't saying that, I'm this type of person. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not a musician, so I can't tell you why a musician would quit. I can tell you some experiences I have had. And so we've met, we've talked, and I think we've all discussed, I'm probably an anomaly when it comes to churches. Because, and hopefully my musicians or the musicians that play at the church I pastor, they're watching this. They get at least 2 Sundays a year that you're going to be off and I'm going to pay you.
Say that again.
You get at least 2 Sundays a year
At least.
that you're going to be off and I'm going to make sure you're paid.
That just sounded good to hear.
If we have something extra that we're going to do, I'm going to give you multiple weeks advancement to see if you're able to do it before I just count on you, right? Before I buy equipment, I'm going to talk to the people who are going to run the equipment to see what their suggestion is. Even if I don't go with your suggestion, your input is still valuable to me. And so I'm going to ask you, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Now, if my musicians watching, they probably saying, but he dragged his feet on making a decision. And that is true too. Because one thing that I think we're not factoring in is some churches are run differently. There are some churches where the pastor makes all the decisions. There are other churches where there's a board of people that make the decisions. So while you may think it's the pastor that don't want to pay you, the truth of the matter is the pastor might not even be getting paid. Because a lot of people, they forget that they really think this is the 80s and the pastor taking all the money home. I've been on my job 23 years. 23 years. I've worked at the radio station for what? 12, 15 years. I've driven black car. I ain't stealing the church's money. I probably give more money to my church than I take home from my church. So that's what I'm saying. When we talk about church, it's kind of limited to what we've been experiencing. No, the church our pastor is not perfect, and no, we're not looking for musicians right now. So somebody watching this, not in the room, they watching, man, I wonder if they need somebody. We good. God has blessed us. So I think this is the thing. But I think what was important that's been said is it's the unappreciation. It's the if you play the bongos and you do that for free, and don't nobody appreciate you, you're only gonna play them for so long. Appreciation is important. Recognition is important. I don't care. I've learned this in pastor. I don't care how much people say they don't want their name called. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh, pastor, you ain't got to say nothing. Yes, they do. You all are right. Church like volunteers. I tell you why we like volunteers, because most of the time that's all we get. People that do ministry or volunteer workers, so that's all we're used to is dealing with volunteer work. Now, one thing, Pastor Chris, you said it, that COVID taught us the importance of investing in your ministry. Here's my testimony. I've been pastoring the church that I've pastored now, it'll be 11 years this year. Before COVID came, I had a meeting with the deacons of my church who made the decisions. And I said to them, hey, y'all, listen, I think we should get an electronic way to give. I think we should, they want to put money in the envelope, put the envelope in the bucket, count it in the bag, somebody take it to the bank. That's fine. I said, let's get an electronic way to give, so if something happens, we can give. The deacons told me, that's too much work, it'll cost us too much money, we're not going to do it. Right? I said, okay. I searched Square, I searched Cash App, there was no Zelle at that time. There was another entity called Givelify. Right? Givelify takes the lowest percentage. I proposed all three of these to them, and I said, we need to do this. Oh no, Pastor, we know how people are gonna give and this and that. I said, I'm making an executive decision that we implement electronic giving. If they don't give electronically, it don't cost us nothing. But if they do, then it's a blessing. 3 months later, there was something that happened to the world called COVID. Nobody could come to church. I didn't throw it in their face immediately. But when we got back rolling, I said, hey, come here, y'all. Remember that hard time y'all was giving me about electronic giving? Our church would have went into foreclosure if we had not had that in place. I said all that to say this. Sometimes you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And so we got to be kind of careful about our perspective because churches are ran differently. There are some deacons who micromanage musicians and some pastors who micromanage music. But real pastors, they don't have time to be worried about no musician. Right. That real pastors, they got enough trying to get that word ready. They don't have time. They just want it done right. I tell my musicians all the time, I don't care what y'all sing, what y'all, just let it be right. Right? And if the musician has a heart of God or a heart towards God, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. I do think musicians get a hard rap, but I think sometimes they don't also understand the privileged position they're in as well. But we'll talk about that a little.
Okay. We'll come back. So, since we are, let's stay there. Another question that was presented to me. What does homegrown build from within mean to you?
It's the same thing. It means I ain't gotta pay you. It means you grew up in my church, and now I know that you have this ability, this gifting, this liking towards music in whatever instrument or vocal ability that may be. Now it means I don't have to pay you because you're from my church. And then when somebody outside of my church asks you to play and they're going to pay you and you take it, I'm going to say you left us for the money. When you could have paid me yourself. Because if I was worth enough for them to pay me, why wasn't I worth enough for you to pay me?
Wow.
And I'm not saying you got to pay me from day one. Maybe I was 8 when I was playing drums at church. Okay, I didn't get paid the first week I played. Cool. But eventually, I did get paid because I played every Sunday. I'm 45 and I can count on one hand how many Sundays I've missed in 45 years of playing some instrument somewhere at somebody's church. Because Chris will tell you, even when we was on the road and we were playing for an artist, since we ain't saying names.
Right.
There you go.
We were playing for an artist. Some people in the room know who we were playing for. We still went to church on tour. We still had to promote the show, which meant we had to go to somebody's church. And we performed our songs at their church. So in some way, shape, form, or fashion, I've been at church every Sunday since my hair was all black.
You ain't got no hair no more. It's gone.
Well, I mean, this.
Oh, that part. Okay. Hey, so since you there, let's keep riding that. Next question, and I'm explaining this question. Why does the church only respect you after the world validates you? Now let me explain this question. This is where it's gonna get real ugly.
Ooh-wee.
American Idol, the last year's winner. Funny part is, last year's winner was on Sunday's Best. Not once, but twice. I watched both of them. And I only like Sunday's Best. I watched them both because the dude is amazing. He has quartet background, but he can flat out sing anything. The first time, they pretty much told this man he wasn't churchy enough. The second time, it was like, yeah, you cool, but. Well, okay. He went to American Idol and won the whole thing. With ease. Because he was that good.
First time?
Huh?
His first time?
It was his first time. Went to American Idol once. Won the whole thing. With ease.
And now he's the world's greatest church.
Well, yeah, now I'm getting to it. Because here's what happened. Now you will see him on stage. He's supposed to be doing an R&B show. He's sitting up there in a suit with no shirt on, glistened up whole nine. 10 minutes in the service, pure church, people slain, pure church. And he made a statement one day. I always wanted to do church, but they wouldn't let me. But now you can't stop me. So now he turns a whole R&B concert into pure church. Now the church want to invite him to do revivals and conferences. Then it's just happened again. What's her name? Keela Richards. Yeah, she was also on Sunday's Best, but she wasn't good enough. But the minute she went and auditioned for American Idol, wild horse, mind you, instantly, you in. Soon as she did that, you got church people getting up. What happened? I thought she was the praise and worship leader. Why is she singing? And it's like, it took her to do that for you to acknowledge who she was. I'll give you another example, and then I'm going to let y'all loose. I remember one year doing GMWA, going to play. It was the best, worst experience ever. And I'm going to tell you why. It wasn't because of the music. The music was amazing. It was because I had to accept a few things. I've never seen certain things so blatant and so obvious and so ignored in my life. It was crazy work. But what was interesting is because luckily I've been around all types of music. So as we're walking, I think, was it Kiara? Maybe. She had just came out. And it was talking about some music. It was talking about the producer, and he's amazing, this, that, and other. And they just kept saying, Rodney Jerkins. And I'm sitting there like, Rodney Jerkins? Wait a minute. Darkchild? Right. Who is that? Rodney Jerkins. Right. Well, why are you calling him Darkchild? Because in hip-hop, he's Darkchild. But in gospel, he couldn't say Darkchild. Right. So he said, my name is Rodney Jerkins. And they was like, huh? Yeah. I started realizing that a lot of the folks that I was running with in R&B, all of them was at church on Sunday. Of course. I'll never forget going to do an event, opening up for an artist. He was here. We do the sound check, and as we walk off, they do their sound check. I'm halfway to the green room, and then I just hear this music drop. This was the coldest quartet gospel music I ever heard in my life. I turned around, and I'm like, whoa, what is y'all doing? The keyboard player, and I'll say his name, Ramsey Lewis. He's playing, and it is amazing. The drummer, Kahari Stewart. These are best. His father's a bishop. And I'm like, yo, he started laughing. He said, man, I'm a PK kid. As soon as we get done, I'm going to the airport. I better be at church, or my daddy going to be on my head. I'm like, wait, y'all play at church? Absolutely. But what I don't understand, which is why this question is here, why does it take all of that before the church acknowledges your name? Go.
Okay, so from that privileged musician position, I've gotten to see a lot of different stuff. So competitions that we label gospel are crap. Again, I'm willing to say that.
Thank you.
So, come see me later if you don't like it. I don't care. On competitions like the one aforementioned gospel competition, it is not the best singer.
Right.
It is never, because if that's the case, there's a dude from here that should have won. If we going on just who got vocal ability, it ain't too many dudes out singing my boy. I won't say his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He's from here. His church actually ain't about 15 minutes away. Well, where it used to be. They don't care about your ability. When you win a gospel competition, it's whether or not I can make you do what I want you to do. Just like any record competition.
Are you marketable?
Exactly. Can I get you? When you win, your record is done. The only thing we need you for is your lead vocals. You ain't writing nothing, you ain't producing nothing, you ain't playing nothing, you ain't got nothing. Dude, this record been done for 6 months. Before you won the competition to get on the top 10 or top whatever, this record was done. We waiting on lead vocals. We don't need you. This record is for everybody else that wrote on it. They want their royalties. You ain't got nothing coming. But can I manipulate you into doing this? So you can't put a guy like that who grew up at church. And now let's go into why we go from church and then we win as the so-called secular. I hate that word. Just like a lot of pastors hate the word gig. As a musician, I hate the word secular. Because then you make it seem as if anything outside of gospel is going to send me to hell.
Come on.
But if I got a CDL, do I only have to drive the church bus, or can I deliver cigarettes from Marlboro? I'm making play.
Come on.
I'm being for real. We live in St. Louis. Anheuser-Busch ain't that far away. Can I go deliver beer for them? With my commercial driver's license. That's what CDL stands for. Can I use my CDL to put my family in a better place? Because now I deliver for one of the largest alcohol companies that's in my city. Or am I going to hell because I drove for Anheuser-Busch, Marlboro, whoever you deliver for Douce, whoever you
Right.
pick it. What if I was delivering contraceptives? I'm trying to pick my words nicely.
Come on.
Y'all know what contraceptives are. What if I'm delivering those? But in gospel, we like to gatekeep, and we want to keep who we can manipulate and make do what we want to do. Because see, if you can't get the people in their emotions and make them want to jump up and shout, I don't need you. That's why certain artists get booked on shows. It's because I know when he come, when she come, they gonna want to, right, they gonna bring the audience one, which gonna sell my tickets, but that's because the people coming looking for
That
the
gimmick.
emotional show.
That gimmick that we talking
I
about.
won't go to this show, and when I get done, I'm still calling my side
Okay,
chick.
so wait, stay right there.
Ain't nothing changed.
Stay right there, because you just took me into another question.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Hold on. No. I'm glad you did.
I just want to say that out
And
loud.
I'm
You know,
afraid.
folks like to talk, and I don't.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
don't have.
I know you. So look, check this out. We're going to this next question, and I know for a fact this next question makes people angry. I've seen this question make people angry. Yeah, so we just gonna go on and deal with it. Is the church concerned more with shape, form, or fashion than the soul? And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say
Yep.
absolutely.
Yes. Fact.
No, absolutely.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you why I posed this question.
That was evangelism.
Dr. Davis, I'm gonna tell you why. Minister Davis made a statement some years back, and he literally said that gospel music was nothing more than entertainment. Everybody tried to crucify him, and it was like, it ain't entertainment, it's the gospel. And no, not necessarily. And I always hear people say, we not here for shape, form, or fashion. Then why y'all got uniforms on? Why musicians? Why are we practicing this intro to make sure it's right?
Right.
That's the shape.
I know
And
why.
that's the form. Why?
I know why.
Why?
I know why they do it. I'm gonna clear. I got you. I know you want to answer. I got you, Pastor. I'm gonna answer this for you. Because it's saying the word, you got to do it decent and in order. That's why they do it.
Oh, that's why.
And I can't stand that when they take that out of this, when they take that section of scripture. Oh, don't get me started. I'll let y'all answer y'all question first. But yeah, that's why I just wanted to answer your question for him.
So yeah,
I did
so-
it for him.
You did.
I
Good
did
job.
it for him. I was looking out for you. I did that for you.
Minister Davis.
That's-
But even if you look at the Bible, if you look at the Bible, when Saul got sick and Saul's mind was troubled, David came and played for him. Not as a spiritual thing, for entertaining him. It was a part of entertainment. It's always been part of entertainment. And if it's not entertainment, how come, I'm not saying names, I know Chris gonna get mad at me. How come we will pay $50, $60 to go see Tamla Mann sing? And we got great singers here, and we won't pay $10 to go hear them sing. We always want them to come sing for free.
Can I answer that question?
Because nobody's about shape form. They go live with Tamla Mann sing.
Yeah. The reason that other people will pay to see people that we don't know, that don't care about you, that ain't gonna come see about you, talk to you, ask you questions, none of that.
Keep going.
Not just because they famous, but because I'm expecting a certain level of a show from a Tamla Man. Now, back to his question. It is part of gospel is entertainment, because if I can't get you to listen to me, I can't get you the message.
Right.
So if my intro is trash, you ain't gonna listen to me. And I'm saying this as a musician. If I walk into a service and 3 seconds in, the keyboard player and the bass player are in different sections of the song, I'm on Facebook.
If we start singing right now, and me and Chris start singing right now, y'all clap for Chris. And y'all laugh at me.
George gonna
Can you give me an example, please? I'm a
No example.
Florian. Go ahead.
Take his word for it.
Right.
But if it's about God, the same spirit that Chris singing and make you shout, you should get it from me. It shouldn't be because his voice sounds better than mine, and he know how to hit octaves that I can't. I sing as he singing A.
I disagree because a lot of times people are operating in areas that's not their gift.
No, we're not
So
saying that.
if you're not a singer and that's not what you're called to do, then you shouldn't be one grabbing the mic saying, I'm going to do this when you know you sound a mess.
Bible
So
said make
what
a door
I'm-
for noise. He didn't say make a key. He didn't say you sing on key. It says joyful noise.
There you go, taking that out of context.
Me being a singer and me teaching my son, what I realize and what I feel still to this day, whenever you go before the Lord, you give him your best. If your best, if you can't give him your best, then don't give him nothing. So just like me, my granddaughter, she can dance. I can't do that. I can give my best and it's gonna be a mess. But she gonna get up there. But it doesn't matter.
So God don't accept it because
I'm not saying God don't accept it. What I'm
so
saying,
my man can't accept it if God
because
accepts it.
you out of order.
Yeah.
If that's not
Because
your
I'm
gift,
doing my best, I'm out of
but
order.
it's not your gift. See, you got a lot of people in the church. They want to do stuff that they're not gifted in. God has a place for everybody. But
Where in the Bible-
but we want to do stuff that we can't do.
Where in the Bible does it say in order to sing, it has to be a gift?
It doesn't say you have to be a gift. What I said was
Singing
and I
is a
still
gift.
say,
Hold on. Singing is a gift. And in one of the Corinthians, I don't remember which one. There's a list of spiritual gifts, and music is one of them.
Right.
So singing under the umbrella of music is a spiritual gift. That's why some of us in this room can play one instrument, 5, 6. Some of us can sing, some of us can't. Those are the gifts we got.
And don't you agree? I mean, even as the pastor, you got people that's in positions. They don't supposed to be in that position
Minister
if they
Stokes,
know
jump in
it.
there.
So I couldn't say
Okay,
that because
so-
I can't sing, but I be trying to. So that's why I didn't say that.
So to George's point, you said it earlier that you go to a church and they try to get on the soundboard and they can't do it.
Same
They don't
thing.
have that gift to do that.
But you do.
But you do. So you can be on the soundboard, but if I get on the soundboard, you gonna hear all kinds of noise. And it ain't gonna be right. So I don't have that gift. That's your gift. Just like my son can sing, I can't sing. So I'm not gonna be a praise and worship leader. That's not my gift. That everybody has gifts. The Bible says there are many gifts, but one body. And so we all have to work in that gift.
Yeah, okay, so, like I said, I told y'all that question always creates some issues. Go for it.
Can we so the initial question was, does
Is
the
the
church
church-
care about shape, form, or fashion
More than
or
the soul?
more than the soul?
Yes, they do.
I think from a worldview, the answer is yes. We do care about shape, form, or fashion. But I think we do that because, and I shouldn't say
Go for it.
No,
Be you, Lee.
those of us that say we in church, we really don't know God.
come on.
Just being honest, those of us that say we in church, we really do not know God. We know church etiquette. We know when to clap. We know when to say amen. We know the church cultural stuff, but we really don't know God, right? And the reason why I say we don't know God is because if you knew God, you would know where your place was, where your gift is. If you knew God, you will be playing not for money, but for the Lord to bless you, because the Bible says promotion don't come from the north, south, east, or west, but it comes from above. So if we really knew God the way we say we knew God, a lot of these minuscule things we talk about, we wouldn't even be worried about, right? Because you would trust, the Bible says that your gift will make room for you, which means I don't need to go searching anywhere for anything, because the gift God gave me is going to put me in the place God wants me to be. Now, as a musician, as a preacher, as anybody in church, that may make you a little uncomfortable, but then that questions the fact, do you really trust God like you say you do? Because if you trust God like you say you do, and the Bible says that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, which means that we trust that God is leading us to the place he wants us to play or preach at, the people he wants us to preach and sing to, instead of directing our own steps. Now, this is not on the sheet, but let me pose this question. How many musicians and or pastors have played at places that you know you weren't supposed to be playing at? God did not authorize you to play at that place. I ain't asking you the reason why you went, but you know that you know God didn't tell you to play there, right? We make those decisions because we think we know what's best for us. And then when it don't work out, then we say, oh, them church people full of, they didn't do me right. Well, you weren't supposed to be there anyway. So maybe it was the Lord exposing to you You don't make the decisions. I do. The way of the transgressor is hard. We put ourselves in situations we ain't got no business even being in. And then blame it on God. God, you said you love me, you will provide for me. Negro, I didn't tell you to go play for them people. How many times people call you, can you come fill in for us? You be like, yeah, I'll go help you out. Then they shake your hand and you be like, God, I didn't tell you to go over there. You mad at your family member now? You loan them money, they ain't pay you back. God didn't tell you to loan them no money. Seek ye first the kingdom. Ask the Lord before we make these decisions of where we're going and what we're doing. If we ask God to direct us, He's a man, He'll direct us. Also, there's a difference between gospel music and inspirational music. I'm a preacher pastor, so I believe the gospel can't be sung anyway. The gospel got to be preached. So when we say gospel music, that's just a label we put on to say this belongs to the church people. Again, church people, right? Then that's what you have, inspirational music. Music that ain't about God, but it's still good. That song Marvin Sapp did, he didn't say God in there one time. How we know that he talking about God? He never said Lord. He never said the songs that have been written ain't got no Bible in it, nowhere whatsoever. Those are inspiration, and that's not bad. It's not a bad thing. I love Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder ain't talking about the Lord. It's nothing wrong with it, but we got to properly put things in their right category, right? The gospel got to be preached. Okay.
Well,
You
What he
spoke.
said.
What he said. All right, so then let's go over there. And I'm going to explain the question. Why is it bad when I do it, but God when you do it? Let me explain what this is. Once again, this is going to be real controversial. But let's just go on and call it what it is. All the musicians going to understand as soon as I start. Musicians, how do we know the Clark sisters?
Can I take that?
I already knew you was coming, but wait. I just want, before you answer it, musicians, I want y'all to think that's in the room and on this live. How do you know the Clark sisters? Okay, go.
Those of us who are 80s babies, as I am one, we met the Clark sisters when they, I'm going to use the term, borrowed a song from Stevie Wonder. And it was their biggest hit. Even probably more than likely still to date, it's their largest selling song and their most popular song. Most of that song is a Stevie Wonder sound called Master Blaster. So that's how we met the Clark sisters. They were singing secular music.
And they just put some gospel words over the top of it. I'm going to tell you why I'm going here. Because one of the issues for musicians is, and all of y'all have heard this before, and it's all over social media right now. There is a sound to worship, and true. I know real gospel music, and you don't play that, and you don't play this. Newsflash: we musicians, everything the choir just sang, that was somebody else's. Yeah.
Come on.
Go.
Okay, as a musician, I'm gonna take y'all down the rabbit hole of how many gospel songs you've heard that used to be secular songs. I still hate that word, but I'm using it because that's a word we all know. What's the dude that had chest pains all over his body? What's his name? That dude. James Cleveland. Yeah, he had chest pains all over his body. It's on one of his records. You got it. It's hilarious.
Come on, sir.
Yes, he said
He said I have chest pains all over my body. That is, if a phrase live in my head, it's that. Yeah, chest pains all over his body. He sang a song that says, "If anyone should ever write," well, all right. I didn't want to say it, but okay. Y'all have heard Hezekiah Walker do "How Much We Can Bear." Take the bass line, boom, 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 and sing "I'm everyone."
Same thing.
Same line. You've heard Hezekiah Walker sing Every praise is "I'll be watching you" by Sting and the Police. I can do this all day. John P. Key in the middle of "Rain on Us" play boom 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 boom. Do I have to sing the rest of the bass line? I can do this all day. Donald Lawrence sang "Your Gift It Looks Good on You." What's the bass line? Boom 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 boom.
What's your question?
Why we as Christians or even church people, whatever, why do we want to try to separate the music and the beat. It's the lyrics that makes the song. And the beat, the music is here. And it's going to repeat itself and repeat itself and repeat itself. It's
I agree, but this actually is what rests on what musicians say when we hate hearing people get up here. There's a sound to worship. We play. Stop. You're lying. The worship is you. It's where you are at mentally at that moment.
Come on.
Because this same chord I can put in a million spots. Matter of fact, I don't even know if you remember this, Mom. It was a song playing. Gospel song playing.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
And it was a gospel song playing. I'm listening to it. And first, before it was my mom, it was my grandma. Before she passed. I'm hearing the song, and grandma say, "Baby, you know that song?" I'm like, "Huh? Mom? Grandma, that's Mary Mary." "No, that ain't. Let's put it in the Won't-Ads."
Come on.
I'm like, grandma tripping. A few years later, go back. Same song. My mama. "Why you listening to Put It in the Won't-Ads?" So now, I gotta go look for Put It in the Won't-Ads.
Come on.
Gotta get myself together, cause I got no place. That whole guitar line, all that is Put It in the Won't-Ads. But it's anointed all of a sudden. So, but you telling musicians and keyboard players get it the worst. Don't play them chords. Them chords are of the world.
Come on. Come on.
Or my favorite one, when they finna preach or they finna prophesy and y'all play them chords. Yeah, you know, that's worship. You talking about the mystical, magical orchestra chords that we had to learn in school? What's so deep about that? But then you don't want to pay them though.
Ain't no deep about it. First of all, if you don't understand music and how music works and moves, you don't know what I'm playing. You know what I played made you think about.
Right.
That part.
You know what I played made you think about, and whether or not that memory was good or bad to you.
Come on.
You don't know whether I'm playing the first chord of Amazing Grace, which is a one chord in any key, or whether I'm playing the first chord of Never Too Much by Luther, which is also the one chord in any key. Okay, so without getting into the keys, all the keyboard players over there looked up and was like, yeah. The chord is the same, whether it's May or da. That first chord is the one chord that we in when we doing that song. The same major chord can start both songs.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm playing.
Exactly.
All you know is what it made you think about.
That's it.
Or if you want to, I've played in a church where the pastor told us, "I want y'all to play some warfare music." What the heck is that?
What does that even mean?
Yeah, it sounds scary.
Now that was the question we had after.
You should have played.
I mean, we know what it is, but the problem is it's subjective. The problem is it's subjective from pastor to pastor. So if you say play warfare music, that may mean for pastor, minor 4, minor 5, back to a 1 for him. But for somebody else, it may mean a whole different set of chords.
Right.
But if he can't tell me to play F sharp minor 7, A flat minor 7, back to C sharp,
I don't know. I don't know.
Can I play devil's advocate? Go for it. So, I think it's important for us to know, and I'll be honest. As a preacher, pastor, I don't know nothing about no music.
Right.
A lot of preachers and pastors won't say, "I don't know nothing about no." All that you just said, minor F, I don't know.
Come on.
Ain't no sense me faking. I don't know nothing about. So I shouldn't have too much input on what you're doing. However, as the leader, there is a sound that I would like to be heard for whatever agenda is in the house. But I think, me personally, because I'm a stickler for this, those are conversations you have before the keyboard player get to the post.
You do.
agreed.
You have to have a relationship with your music. So it circles back, Pastor Kristen, what you said to open this up. Like how the church didn't care about the musicians. You got to have a relationship with your musician outside of what they provide for you.
Agreed.
You have to have conversations with them outside of, you was late to church this Sunday. Because the more chemistry you build, the more relationship you build, the better both parties are going to be. So when we talk about like, you know, there's a sound, there's a preference that you like. And if there's a preference that you like, let's have a conversation to see if I can accommodate your preference. But I'm one of those preachers, man, all that spooky stuff, all that we get back to the gimmicks. Those are gimmicky. Now, I'm not downplaying or knocking nobody if that works for your worship or whatever it is. I think it's so important that we know that you got to have clear communication. And this might take us somewhere different. You got to be able to know what your musician can do. Because sometimes, now I'll say this, as preacher pastors, we'll pay you pennies and want you to do everything.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Right.
You want me to know every song at the drop of a dime like that? And we getting $60 a week? Like that's not fair, right? But if you have conversations, if you build chemistry and camaraderie, and I think it goes back to what you said, appreciate the people you work with. This ain't just musician pastor, this is the ushers, this is the choir member, this is the janitor, this is the church secretary. If you appreciate them, you can get more out of them by appreciating them, right? Hey, when I get ready to preach, if this is what I would say, because I don't know about music. When I get ready to preach, if you do dun 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 dun, having those conversations before builds chemistry, and then your musician's like, well, Pastor, I don't really know that, or you mean like this, like that? We gotta be communicable with each other, right? Church is not a play, but it does require communication.
So, with that being said, is playing for a church a job?
Absolutely. Let me take this. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Although I hate the word gig. I hate the word gig.
Pause. Can we say why though? Because a lot of people, from a musician standpoint, we don't hear pastors say why
Let me
they
tell you
hate
why.
the word gig.
Let me tell you why. Let me be honest. Because I've been sitting with y'all a couple weeks now. My ignorance made me hate the word gig.
Thank you.
My ignorance made me... Initially, when I heard the word gig, I equated it to something that it wasn't. Right? When I heard the word gig, are you talking about that club stuff? It's me being transparent. You're going to treat my church like you treat that club stuff, right? That's ignorance. Because I don't work at a club. But every morning at 5:30, I'm at my gig. I'm at the hospital every morning at 5:30.
Break it
A
down.
gig simply means a job.
Thank you.
Right? Now, being a transparent pastor, a leader, that's a triggering word for me until I had to check myself on, man, that's just a word. And I think a lot of these questions, like, they hinge on us being offended by words, right? Because words are subjective. If I say me and Pastor Chris went and kicked it, that you're going to determine what kicking it is to you, and that's going to tell what we did. But that might not be what we did, right? We didn't drink, we didn't, So I was ignorant. That's why I didn't like the word gig. Is playing for a church a job? Yes. Yes, it is. Anything you're getting paid to do is a job. As a pastor, I would prefer the people that I pay on the job that I lead to treat it like a job. So I hear musicians say, this a job, this a job, this a job, right? Well, be here on time, Negro. Okay, hold on, I ain't finna, let me talk, let me cook. Be here on time, please, right? This a job. Don't run through the women at this church. Keep going. See how quiet y'all got? That's what I would say about Chris. See how quiet you got? Listen.
Most of us ain't married.
Thank
So
you.
keep going.
Listen, if it's a job, then treat it like a job, right? Don't come asking me for stuff you wouldn't ask your job. Here's the truth. Most musicians work a job. You don't go to your boss to ask for nothing. No, you don't. You go to work, you do your job, you go home. It's the church you come to that say, I'm underpaid. You ain't never went to your boss and said, y'all don't pay me enough, I'm underpaid. No, you don't. You go clock in, you do your job or don't do your job, and you go home. But when you come to the church, then it's this whole big uproar of, y'all don't appreciate me, y'all don't pay me enough. And I'm all for people being paid correctly. I'm all for that. But we got to look at it too. This is a job, but it's a different employer.
All right.
The church ain't the employer. That's the employer. And I know we don't want to be as spiritual as we should be, but when you play for a church, you ain't playing for the pastor. You're not playing for the people. You're playing for, because when your life is over, The same way the Lord gonna stand before me and say, how did you handle my church? He's gonna ask you, how did you handle that gift at that church I gave you? And so we got to be mindful of who we're playing for. Yes, it's a job, but it's a different employer.
So can I get in on that real quick?
Yes,
'Cause I
please.
agree with everything he just said. Those of us who are, I'm gonna say professional.
If you gonna
musicians
keep holding
in
that
this
mic
room-
like that, you gonna do a verse of something. If you gonna keep holding it to your face like that,
No, sir.
you gonna give me
No, sir.
a selection on
Holding the mic
something.
right here means I don't have to rap. See, because I run sound like George.
Don't
This-
engage.
I
You
know
how to talk. Do not. If you don't keep.
I'm finna get.
You ain't a rapper.
Right. Oh yeah, right. We're gonna hold.
No,
it.
we're not gonna do that. As a sound man,
Oh,
we
that's
don't do that.
That's why I'm holding it way down here, so we'll have issues. But as most of us are professional musicians in this room, we do this for a living. This is how we feed our families. This is how we provide for ourselves. We know musicians who are the exact opposite of what you said.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? I know guys who don't get to church on time.
Yeah.
I know guys who show up to church and didn't practice their music at all. I know guys that show up to rehearsal and didn't practice their music at all. Them dudes, just like a lot of the pastors that are the bad ones, so to speak, get all the shine because we spend the time talking about the bad. Right? But we don't talk about the guys that go to church and I practiced my music. I sat up Saturday night, Friday night, running these songs until I can't get them wrong. Not till I get them right, but till I can't get it wrong. I'm building muscle memory for the musicians in the room. They know what that means. So now, even if I'm tired from sitting up Saturday night going over these songs, my hands will do the work when I get to church.
Yes, sir.
Until my brain wakes up. So it's musicians that are exactly horrible and don't deserve a lot of the stuff that they get and complain about. But it's a lot of guys who don't get talked about or looked about because they show up, like you said, they show up, do their job, go home.
So, I agree with all of that, but here lies the problem. But
I do have a question for that though.
What's your question?
Since we're labeling it a job, I have a problem when you label it as a musician. Well, former, because I don't play anymore. Well, that much. But I don't like it being labeled as a job. One, coming from personal experience, it opens a door for people to go too far in your life as a job. That means they get to dictate. If you're gonna treat it when you say job, and you meaning it's just like you brought up the worldly job. You say you ain't gonna go to your boss. I'm sorry, I had to beg you different. Yeah. I am one that goes to my boss and say, yeah, I'm not a very quiet and I don't have a filter. So I will say what I feel and how I think. But anywho, I digress. But on that, I don't like when you say it's a job because that opens up a certain can of worms that I don't feel like you should be allowed to interject. For example, you shouldn't be able to tell me what I can wear while I'm sitting up there playing because I don't feel that has anything to do with what I came to do in my ministry.
Can we work together?
Of course.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you do for
Law enforcement.
You a police officer?
Federal.
Federal.
Mm-hmm.
They require you to wear a uniform?
No.
Okay.
That's why I hurried up and got out of being a municipal cop. So I didn't have to.
So you didn't have to. But would you agree that a police officer should wear a uniform?
No.
You don't think they should wear a uniform?
That's a whole another can of worms. I don't think they should have to.
So my point is, like, I think it's important for people to be identifiable. Now, as a pastor, I shouldn't dictate to you need to wear a suit every Sunday. But you should be presentable. Right? You shouldn't be musty on the organ.
Right.
I wouldn't.
You shouldn't come in here dirty.
Right.
You shouldn't have your chest all open. And you shouldn't have. You should be presentable. Not
correct. I
agree.
I
understand what you're saying.
agree.
What you're
I
saying is
agree.
like, don't micromanage me to the point where you telling me I gotta wear this and I gotta wear that.
No.
But here's the deal. Now we talking about it being a job. For some people, maybe not you, maybe not me. For some people, for the right amount of money, you will wear what they tell you to wear.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. Let me ask you.
You're right.
If a church came to you today, let's say you're a free musician. You're not, but let's say you're a free musician. They say, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay you $5,000 a Sunday, right? Direct deposit.
You got my attention.
We want you to wear a shirt and tie.
You say
every
how much
Sunday.
now?
Color?
It doesn't. It's your choice. How many Sundays?
Does it matter for what store I get the shirt at?
How many
I
Sundays?
just want to make sure I get this right. You know what I'm saying?
We just here at Goodwill Baptist Church. We prefer you to have on a shirt and tie if you're going to be our musician. My question is, how many Sundays will you miss?
Miss for what?
So what I'm saying
You
is
said
like
5,000 at your
5,000 direct deposit.
I'm finna go to K&G right
Direct
now.
deposit. Right. So I brought that up to say this. Like, of course, you should, and this is the thing. If God leads you to the right place to play, He's gonna lead you to the right leader to take care of you as well. He's not gonna He's not gonna. Now here we go. We talking about some of the other people that there's some bad leaders, but man, pastors ain't worried about that. From a pastor perspective, we're not worried about, as long as you clean, as long as you present, as long as you, man, if you come to church with some Jordans on and some jeans and a t-shirt, I don't care. Be here on time, play that music right, and we good. But there are some pastors that manipulate or abuse their authority. And I think that's what we're speaking of.
Yeah.
But then that's when you got to say to yourself, does God want me here? Because God don't want people taking advantage of it.
Mr. Stokes.
Okay, so when you said, it's not a job, I feel like that we say that because it sounds worldly. But when you apply for that job, that position as a musician, you put in an application, you did an interview, you did a audition, and this is where the mistake comes in. The pastor does not give you expectations when he hires you. I expect you to be here on time. I expect you to be at rehearsal.
Right.
I expect you to sit at the organ when I'm doing the morning service.
And please don't get up
then
while I'm preaching.
Don't,
What are you doing?
I expect you to sit on this organ. Now, it's your choice whether you want to take that job or not.
Right.
So it's just like with anything else, like Pastor Lee said. You have a dress code on your job. I can't show up at my job. Well, I work from home. But when I was working in an office, I can't show up in jeans and Crocs and leggings and stuff. There's a dress code.
Right.
And so we all should be presentable. And I've seen some tacky musicians. And I know some personally. And I would be like, I wouldn't hire you for nothing. Because you look really tacky. I don't want you sitting on my organ. I don't want you sitting on my drum. And you looking like that. You ought to be presentable. But there are expectations, and those expectations need to be voiced before you accept that position.
So,
I'm with you.
hold on, Chris. Can I go into that?
Yes.
Because I agree. Yes, if it's a job, it needs to be treated like one. I need to be on time. And at certain jobs, yes, you will wear a uniform, depending on the job. If you work for UPS, you're going to be in brown.
Right.
You apply for it, you can send them bring packages to your house. If you're
Right.
FedEx, you're going to be in black and blue or 2 shades of blue, whatever it is. You're going to be in it. If you're a doctor, you're going to be in scrubs. Certain jobs, you already know what you got to wear. It just is what it is. It's not going to change.
Right.
But if not to what he said about not getting up off the organ, and I know that was a joke when he said it.
I was for real.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you why. Let me give you an insight into being a musician.
Uh-oh.
Why we get up.
Here you go.
And it's not anything to do with your preaching. Let me say that. Okay. You could be T.D. Jakes level acknowledgement of preaching. Not saying you preach like I'm saying acknowledgement that we know who you are. We know what to expect when you preach. Not no. I'm just talking about in acknowledgement. When church started, most churches expect the musician to be playing probably 5 or 6 minutes before service starts. You want the prelude, as they call it. When praise and worship plays, who playing? Us. When y'all get ready to do offering or prayer or the scripture reading, who's still playing? Us. When y'all shout, who playing? Us. When y'all worship, who playing? Us. When y'all do offering. Well, here's the problem. I ain't been nowhere yet. Do you know, this seat right here is very comfortable. God bless you. This is very comfortable. Organ benches are made of wood. Solid planks of wood. It is not comfortable. So now your service, which is 2 hours, for the first hour and 1/2 minutes, I have been sitting on this plank of wood. and it ain't comfortable. It ain't like the drummer who got the throne with this much cushion on it.
Those not all comfortable either, though.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But they started out with cushion.
True.
I did not. I came and sat on the wood. So by the time the service is 1.5 hours in, when do at any job, I get a break at some point. Now, I'm not saying that we should take a break and go and just go to Taco Bell, right? I'm not saying that. But if I'm going to the bathroom and go get some water, and to get up and move, because now I've been sitting on this wood plank for an hour and a half, it's hurting.
Right.
Or at the very least, it's uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
After an hour and a half. So it ain't got nothing to do with your preaching or that we don't want to hear the word. I need to get up.
So hold on. I'm sorry, Pastor Chris.
No,
Mike, that's your name now. You stop with it. Might we delve into that a little bit deeper? So we got two type of musicians. We have good musicians and we have bad musicians.
Facts.
Right. The ones that go to Taco Bell.
Right. Or smoke cigarettes in the parking lot.
Right.
Right.
Or
So that's why I got that.
the girls outside.
So here's what I'm saying. So any true leader has no problem with you getting up and going to the bathroom.
Right.
They don't mind you getting up and doing that. I'm talking about the people who get up and don't come back until he's closing.
That's why I interjected that to speak on behalf of those of us that's just going to get some water and going to the bathroom. I can't speak for them cats that went off and did.
And I was from a pastoral perspective, I'll speak to that. I'll be honest. I think everybody needs the word, right? But if you get up, I don't care, because I've learned how to preach without the support of music. I've learned how to preach without the support. I'm not a hooper anyway, so I don't. That's just icing for me. That music, if you don't come back, I'm gonna be okay. My issue is the presentation of what it looks like. Then it looks gimmicky to the people that, okay, we know he's finna close because the musician back now, and he playing that closed music. It looks like it is staged. It looks like it is rehearsed. It gives the perception, and it may not be. It may not be.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes,
in most cases,
because there are some pastors who have licks and riffs and chops that they sing.
Absolutely.
And I ain't gonna sing because if I sing them, you'll know who I'm referencing.
Absolutely.
Come on,
But
just give me one. I just want to really be in.
I'm trying to be obedient to the rules that was laid down.
He done
That
broke
would
the
go-
rules 4 times.
That would go against saying names, because if I sing the riff, you gonna know who that.
But,
I mean, call their name.
But that is true that there are
Sometimes it is
pastors that rehearse or that depend on that, and I get that too. But when we look at this thing, like I'll just say this: it's in the best interest of the church that the pastor and the musician work together.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
facts.
The same way I don't want my music getting up while I'm preaching. I don't want to keep them there all day either.
Facts. So let me jump in here though, because I agree with all of that. And first of all, Pastor Lee, you're an anomaly. You know that. Yeah. Most of the stuff you said, that ain't happening in the church. It ain't. I know.
I can't believe that pastors really do people like this. I can't believe it.
So they don't care about us. Most pastors don't even know the musician's name. Hey, boy on the organ. They don't know us.
Hey, little drummer.
Hey.
Can I?
What?
That's one of the things I hate. Do not address me by my instrument.
Yeah, I can't
One more
stand
time.
that.
For every pastor in the room, do not address me by my instrument.
Yeah.
My instrument been in this daggum church all week and it ain't made no noise. It's an inanimate object until somebody with the ability to manage it plays it. And you call me, hey, bass player. I will hit you with all 6 strings.
Yeah, they don't know.
Wait, so hold on.
Yes.
It happens.
There are
Yes.
pastors.
A lot.
This
Yes.
is one of the reasons I'm having this, because nobody's keeping it 100.
Don't
Most of
ask
these
me.
folks talking don't even know who the band is.
Ask these 3 gentlemen here, and he
Right.
play instruments too. We know him singing. He play too.
So I left a church because of that, because I'm there 3 years. You don't know my name?
So that was my next question then. Why would we be at a church that don't even know us?
Because I can explain that, which is it's going into these questions. We going into them. Because when you leave, it's beat over your head. When you leave, they don't know trust God for real. they start testing your salvation instantly.
Pastor Chris,
And a lot,
well then I don't know God, because I'm not finna sit at a church
I
and let
agree.
you take advantage of me, and then you manipulate my spiritual
So,
walk because
can
I
I-
don't know. Because no,
So I totally agree, but the reality to it is, this is where we are.
It happens.
And nobody wants to talk about that.
Let me
Like, for
tell you.
example, I know people personally. I know people personally. Health bad, struggles. The church took so much advantage of them. It's because it was drilled in them since a child. But then they question us, why you want to play